good morning to you all. So we have been discussing this climate change, okay, and in the previous class we were discussing something mission life, okay, mission life, okay, यहीं पे हम रुके थे ना, mission life, that is lifestyle for environment, okay. So we have been discussing that the climate action now should be individual centric, okay, that is role of an individual is equally important. Role of an individual is equally important, okay. Okay, so now you see we have seen several examples like wastage of food, apart from that wastage of water, okay, excessive consumerism, all those things you see, these are part of this, these are being addressed by this mission life. It actually focuses on changing the individual lifestyle, okay, to make our lifestyle more climate friendly, okay, is that clear? So that focus has now shifted from the governments to the individuals, because they are equally important, they have an equal role to play in mitigating the effects of climate change, okay, because when individuals will behave responsibly, okay, like you guys don't behave responsibly, okay, when individuals behave responsibly, there will be this reduction of greenhouse gases, by following very simple practices like vocal for local, okay, saving energy, saving water, reducing waste, okay, say no to single use plastic, things like these, they will make a large impact, okay. So now this mission life, it will turn into a mass movement, okay, because it has gone international law, okay, it has gone international law, because हमने international forum पे ये किया है, ठीक है, जो हमने प्रोक्लेम किया है हमने कि इंटरनेशनल फोरम पे, एंड नाउ वी आर ट्राइंग टू मेक दिस मिशन लाइफ एन इंटरनेशनल मूवमेंट, इंटरनेशनल मास मूवमेंट, okay. So globally there has been a call for these climate friendly actions, is that clear? Apart from that, we have also seen that how the individuals can be incorporated in this decision making, is that clear? How you can bring them in decision making, okay, providing them with the platforms जहाँ पे अपनी voice रख पाएं, ठीक है, also making them equal stakeholder in implementation. These are two things, okay. Apart from that, we have also seen that there are several schemes that are focusing upon this mission life, schemes like Kusum, schemes like that focus on solar energy, okay. So all those things you see, we have made a list of all those things, okay, that are that align with the mission life. The last topic that we have seen, ठीक है, we have listed certain schemes, कुसुम हो गया, वो सूर्य हर घर हो गया, ठीक है, और क्या था, स्टार लेबलिंग स्कीम हो गया, पैट स्कीम हो गया, ठीक है, जल शक्ति अभियान हो गया, गो इलेक्ट्रिक हो गया, ठीक है, these are all aimed at okay, क्या था, एक पेड़ माँ के नाम, okay, yes. So these are all in alignment with this mission life, okay. So this is the push towards the individual's role, okay. Now we will have a look at two dedicated schemes that are part of this mission life, okay. So you please write, next लिखो, to take ahead the life approach, to take ahead the life approach, to take ahead the life movement, okay, to take ahead the life movement, MOEFCC, to take ahead the life movement, Okay, okay. MOEFCC. Okay, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. MOEFCC has introduced two pioneering initiatives. Has introduced two pioneering initiatives that indicate the countries that two pioneering initiatives. Please, Ruby, कहाँ मिस हो बताओ? स्टार्टिंग से ही मिस हो गया. सो रहे थे क्या आप लोग? जाग जाओ यार. अरे दिस इज इन कंटिन्यूटी विद. ओके, वो 9 थी एंड देन वी आर एडिंग 2 more schemes. ओके, that is in continuity. Okay, please write. Okay, to take ahead the life movement, MOEFCC has Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. MOEFCC has introduced two pioneering initiatives. Has introduced two pioneering. Has introduced two pioneering initiatives. Has introduced two pioneering initiatives that indicate the countries proactive approach. That indicate the countries proactive approach. That indicate the countries proactive approach to climate change. To climate change, comma sustainability. Climate change, comma sustainability and promotion of eco-conscious and promotion of eco-conscious and promotion of eco-conscious practices and conscious eco क्या था ये? एंड प्रमोशन ऑफ इको कॉन्शियस प्रैक्टिसेस. ओके, फुल स्टॉप. these are ग्रीन क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम. फर्स्ट लिखो ग्रीन क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम. ओके, these are green credit program and the first one is green credit program. Okay, and the first one is this one and then second is eco mark scheme. Green credit program and eco mark scheme. Okay, so these two things are there. These are the two pioneering initiatives, okay, that are there by this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, so you guys must now work on these two things. Okay, I will make you write something on this green credit program and ecomark scheme because these are the two new initiatives that are there. No, not in this year. Okay, not in 2024. Okay, not in 2025. Okay, but these are two initiatives that are there. We will work on these. Okay, we have seen several initiatives now that are aimed at mission life. Some are the schemes that are in alignment with mission life. Okay, though they are there before the launch of mission life. Okay, some have been introduced thereafter, and now two other pioneering initiatives are green credit program and the ecomark scheme. Okay, now if you guys could recall one thing. Okay, let us see. Okay, how much you know. Okay, if you guys could recall when we were discussing these carbon markets, okay, I told you something, that is, if you look at the okay, if you look globally, okay, there are two types of markets, that are compliance markets and the voluntary markets. Compliance markets and the voluntary markets. Okay, I will not go into the details of this Paris agreement now. Okay, you guys must go through that what we have discussed. Okay, these are compliance markets and the voluntary markets. Okay, but in case of India, if you could recall that that an amendment was made to this Electricity Act, one scheme was introduced, that is carbon credit trading scheme. Carbon credit trading scheme. Is that clear? This was introduced there in case of India. Okay, in case of India, for the domestic market, domestic carbon market. Okay, there is this carbon credit trading scheme, है ना? If you could recall. Okay, but this is the compliance, because this is the compliance market, because it has been stipulated for certain entities that you have to reduce your emissions to this particular target. Okay, and after, if you achieve that target, and if you are left with certain carbon credits, you can trade those credits in the market with the other entities who have failed to achieve their target. Okay, okay, is that clear? So that will be covered under this carbon credit trading scheme. But one more thing is there, the voluntary market. Voluntary market is somehow this green credit program, okay, somehow this green credit program is in alignment with the voluntary market. But though there is the role of government will frame the rules for that. Okay, वो compliance उससे भी आएगा. लेकिन if you see, this is the voluntary action now. This is the voluntarily, you are engaging in reducing the carbon emissions voluntarily. Okay, though when we discussed in this global parlance, okay, I have been telling you that there is in case of domestic markets also, there are compliance markets and there are voluntary markets. Then we saw, then I gave you example of this China, South Korea, and I told you that these voluntary markets in these countries, countries like China, countries like South Korea, these are also regulated by the government. Similar kind of thing is there in case of India also. This green credit program, the rules framing will be done by the government. Government will provide for the rules, कैसे क्या करना है, कैसे काउंट करना है, क्या करना है. Government will provide with the trading platform. But it is somehow like this कि आप voluntarily को initiate कर रहे हो और वहां से अगर आपकी emissions reduce हो रही हैं तो आप क्या कर सकते हो, उनको ट्रेड कर सकते हो. You will get the certificate for that. Okay, carbon credit certificates for that, and then you can trade these. Is that clear? That will be like if you are investing in reducing the carbon emissions, you should be able to make something out of it. Like you should be able to this attract funds. Okay, attract capital for that. Okay, and अगर आपके पास surplus है तो you can trade that. Okay, so voluntary markets are also if you look at this particular thing, voluntary markets are also of two types. These are your where there is government regulation and the other is government is not involved. In one case government is involved and in the other government is not involved. In this case of voluntary market also. Okay. And in this compliance market, there is one thing very specific to this compliance carbon market, is that government will stipulate the targets. Okay, government will lay down the guidelines कि क्या है क्या नहीं है. ठीक है. Is that clear? And then if you are successful in achieving those targets, then you can trade those extra carbon credits. Okay, ये बिल्कुल आपका गवर्नमेंट ही बताएगी क्या है क्या नहीं है. लेकिन यहाँ पे आपके पास थोड़ा सा है कि अगर आप चाहते हो आप काम कर सकते हो और फिर उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट अगर इन्वॉल्व है तो तब भी ठीक है, अगर नहीं है तो तब भी ठीक है. बट दिस ग्रीन क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम समहाउ अलाइंस विद द वॉलंटरी कार्बन मार्केट. इज दैट क्लियर? यू गाइज आउट देयर, अमान एंड द अदर वन, हु इज दिस? Okay, Tripti, is that clear? Yes. Okay, so you please write something on this green. What were you discussing here? Green credit program. Okay, you please write something on this green credit program. Okay, please write GCP. GCP means green credit program. Okay, GCP is an innovative market-based mechanism. GCP is an innovative market-based mechanism. GCP is an innovative market-based mechanism designed to incentivize designed to incentivize voluntary environmental actions, designed to incentivize voluntary environmental actions, designed to incentivize voluntary environmental actions across diverse sectors by various stakeholders like individuals, comma, communities, comma, private sector industries, and companies. Okay. Private sector industries and companies. Okay. Now you see, if you there is one thing that has been used, the one word, that is to incentivize. Okay, if these companies are engaged in reducing the carbon emissions, we will have a look at what are the different activities that are permitted under this particular program. Okay, green credit program. We will have a look at all those things. But if you could, but if some company, some industry, some individuals, some NGO, okay, if they are engaged in reducing the carbon emissions, okay, they should be incentivized, because it will incur some cost for them. Reducing carbon emissions is not easy. It demands technology. It demands a shift in the traditional activities. Okay. So that shift, you see, that shift demands some cost. Okay, some cost is to be incurred on all those activities. Okay, when some cost is incurred, okay, to motivate them, you need to incentivize them. You need to incentivize them, and this green credit program will now provide that platform. Okay, you will be incentivized. You please work on reducing the carbon emission across the activities like water, agriculture. Okay, by taking into this activity like afforestation, you please work on these things. If you succeed in reducing the carbon emissions or generating the carbon sink, okay, then you will be incentivized, because things like afforestation, they will create the carbon sinks. Okay, I will take this up later. Okay, in this class studio itself. Okay, what are carbon sinks? We will discuss on all those things. Okay, but if you are able to create carbon sinks, these carbon sinks will remove the CO2 from atmosphere, and we need those things. Okay, and for that purpose they will be incentivized, and this is the green credit program. Is that clear? Okay, you further write activities covered under GCPR. Tree plantation, comma, waste water management, water management, comma, sustainable agriculture, comma, waste management, comma, air pollution reduction, comma, mangrove conservation and restoration. Okay. So if you want some timeline कि कब ये launch हुआ था, it was launched in October 2023. Okay, if you want that timeline, otherwise it is not required. Okay, please, Tripti.
Yes, sir.
You are.
Yes, sir.
Please, you are asking something. Please.
सर, ये जो आपने बताया है कि इसमें मैंग्रोव कंजर्वेशन है, रिस्टोरेशन है, सर इसमें एक पॉइंट और ऐड कर सकते हैं
जी.
सर. इट विल अफेक्ट ऑन इकोनॉमी आल्सो.
Yes, you can, because once you engage in activities like water management, once you engage in activities like afforestation, that is the benefit of green credit program. That is the benefit, okay? Apart from helping the nature, apart from reducing the these emissions, these will also generate livelihood for the communities. This program, these activities, once you start engaging in afforestation, once you start engaging in mangrove conservation, and we have discussed one scheme specifically related to this mangrove conservation, that is Mishti, if you guys could recall. Okay, so that is aimed at mangrove conservation, that is ecosystem preservation and conservation is one thing, but at the same time things initiatives like these, they also this create jobs. These create jobs, they help the local communities. Okay, take for example, if you succeed in reducing the air pollution, it will reduce the health cost. It will reduce the health cost, that is being the money that is being spent by the individuals out of their pocket to access the treatment, to access the health facilities, so that will come down. If you succeed in preserving the water quality, okay, that will also lead to reduction of waterborne diseases. Okay, so that will also reduce the health costs, that will help the economy, that will help the economy, that will also help the government may divert the finance to some other activity. Is that clear? Because government needs to spend a lot on these things like managing the water quality, managing the air quality. Government is spending a huge sum of its money on all those things. Okay, if you engage in all those activities, that will also reduce the burden on this government. Okay, so this whole economy, it will be incentivized. In the broader picture, you can see all these things. Is that clear? Is that clear, Tripti?
Yes.
Okay. So you have this these activities that are there. Okay. Then, but in the initial phase, you see two activities are important. That is in the initial phase. Okay, all these activities will be taken up gradually, but the initial phase, two activities that have been focused upon, these are afforestation. These are afforestation, and the next is water conservation. Okay, with the passage of time, some activities will be taken up, some other activities will be taken up, but primarily we are focusing upon afforestation and water conservation. Water conservation through, how can you conserve water? You tell me, you guys tell me, how can you conserve water? The first is rainwater harvesting. What is the second thing? What is the second thing? Focusing on recycling of water. Treating the wastewater. Using that treated water for agricultural activities. Engaging in micro irrigation in agricultural activities. Okay, investing in micro irrigation in agricultural activities, that is also one thing. Is that clear? Shifting from the traditional these activities towards those activities which conserve water. Is that clear? Creating rainwater harvesting structures. हाँ, इंटीग्रेटेड आप कर सकते हो, एक्वाकल्चर में आप काम कर सकते हो, ठीक है, लाइक इन अलॉन्ग विद राइस कल्टीवेशन यू कैन गो फॉर फिशिंग ऑल्सो, ठीक है, आप यू कैन डू ऑल दिस एक्टिविटीज, कोई बार नहीं है, wherever you see कि there can be the water can be conserved, you can go for those activities. Similarly, video can go for this afforestation. Afforestation can be taken on lands like degraded lands. हाँ, रोड साइड पे आप कर सकते हो, ठीक है, आपके पास कम्युनिटी लैंड्स हैं, आपके पास डिग्रेडेड लैंड्स हैं, उन सब जगहों पे आप फॉरेस्टेशन कर सकते हो. इज दैट क्लियर? ठीक है, समझे आप लोग? इज दैट क्लियर? सो दीज टू थिंग्स यू सी, these all will be covered under this green credit program. Okay, let me see if you if there is something that can be taken up for writing. Okay, then you want to write something on this governance, because it is something that is now outdated. Okay, lekin if you want to write, I can make you write, otherwise there is no need to mention that governance, how it will be, this particular scheme will be governed, GCP. It is just like कि आपको mention करना है ये सारी activities है, and the benefits you can write now. Do I need to make you write these benefits also? What will be the benefits? You please tell me. If you want to write, I will make you write. Okay, otherwise, हाँ, लिखवा दो. Okay, I will give you just this an overview. Okay, I will not make you write in that particular sense कि अब तुम सब कुछ लिखो, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं करेंगे, ठीक है, but I will still make sure that you write something. Okay, I will take up the next slide. Okay, then if you go for this green credit program GCP, what are the benefits? You tell me, you guys tell me, what are the benefits? Starting एक अप्रोच से स्टार्ट करो, ठीक है, स्टार्ट विद दिस, स्टार्ट थिंकिंग लाइक दिस, NDCs, nationally determined contributions, nationally determined contributions. Start with this thing. Okay, start with this thing. What is the government India's target? To reduce by 45%. To reduce by 45% of its carbon emission intensity from its 2005 levels by 2030. तो अगर ग्रीन क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम अगर आप वॉलंटरी एक्टिविटीज में करोगे तो दिस थिंग कैन बी डन देयर, इसके साथ अलाइनमेंट है. व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट थिंग? रिमेंबर द थर्ड पॉइंट अंडर दिस नेशनल डिटरमिन्ड कंट्रीब्यूशन. रिमेंबर द थर्ड पॉइंट. द थर्ड पॉइंट इज क्रिएशन ऑफ 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon sinks. Okay, so if you take up this activities like afforestation, addition of carbon sinks, ये भी टारगेट आपका अचीव होगा. The updated NDC that I am talking of this updated NDC 2022. Okay, one more thing is there under this NDC. If you could recall, one more thing is there. It also focuses upon adaptation. Okay. Whenever there is this adaptation, when we talk of adaptation, you can take up adaptation to health, this climate change induced health issues. So health will be covered. ठीक है. Water availability will increase because you are engaging in activities like water conservation. Listen, you are engaging in activities like water conservation. This will make sure that water availability increases. Okay, if you want to add, you can see that India receives 75% of its rainfall in just 4 months of monsoon. Okay, and for the rest of the year there is very little rainfall. Engaging in activities like rainwater harvesting, water conservation, wastewater treatment, using of grey water for these agricultural activities, engaging in activities like micro irrigation, you can ensure that this water availability is maintained. Okay. Then if you link it to air pollution, okay, say air quality. If you are trying to maintain air quality, that health costs इन सब से आपकी will come down. These things will come down. Apart from that, okay, what you see is adaptation. When we discuss this in these impacts of climate change, I also told you that there is this there will be loss of livelihoods. If you take example of coastal areas, specifically take example of coastal areas, ठीक है, because you guys will quickly get this idea. Once there is rise of sea level, okay, there will be loss of livelihoods. ओके, होगा ना, डिस्प्लेसमेंट होगी, वो आप इजीली कर सकते हो ना, पिक्चराइज, इसलिए बोल रहा हूं, डिस्प्लेसमेंट होगी, ठीक है. आपके इकोसिस्टम, कोस्टल इकोसिस्टम्स, बाकी मैरीन इकोसिस्टम्स, दे विल बी बैडली अफेक्टेड. ओके, सो देयर विल बी लॉस ऑफ लाइवलीहुड. बट व्हेन यू एंगेज इन एक्टिविटीज लाइक मैंग्रोव कंजर्वेशन, okay, engaging in activities like afforestation, engaging in activities like this transitioning to renewable energy, that will make sure that economy is benefited. Okay, economy is benefited. Okay, that is creation of jobs. Okay, increased income. You can also relate this particular thing to the reduced health costs. When there is reduction in health costs, that the money saved on health, okay, that can be used for other activities like education, that can be used to nourish the individuals, Okay, that can be used on food. You can divert that money now. Now you are left with something, okay, because of the reduction in health cost, you can use that money somewhere else. Is that clear? Is that clear? And one more thing, if you could see, that is in this adaptation. In this adaptation, what we have taken up: health, water availability, air quality, and then also this you see promotion of renewable energy. This is also related to the adaptation. Okay, and also reduction in temperatures, that is also there. Okay, heat waves can be mitigated. Okay, say for example, creating green spaces in urban areas. Okay, this will reduce the impact of urban heat island. Is that clear? So all those things you see, so these are all linked to one another. कुछ भी कहीं बाहर से नहीं आ रहा. Okay, and one more thing, if you want to add, India can go for global promotion of this green credit program. India can go for global promotion of a green credit program. Pehla, it will give this country, give India this a prominent position in the global climate affairs. It can help India to enhance the South-South cooperation. So all those things you see, these are the benefits of this green credit program, locally, regionally, nationally, as well as internationally. Is that clear? And at the same time, it will also generate funds for climate friendly activities. Okay. Once you start incentivizing the individual actions, once you start incentivizing the climate friendly actions, more will be compelled to take up the climate friendly activities. More individuals. Is that clear? If you see, this is solely related to the mission life. Okay, this is one of the pioneering initiative that has been undertaken by the MOEFCC under this mission life. So it aligns with the mission life as well. Okay, individual lifestyle, that will also be affected. You see all those things that are part of this green credit program. कुछ भी कहीं से बाहर नहीं. Now you have that much of knowledge. You can relate it to various other things. Okay, is that clear? Okay, you guys over there, Amanya and Tripti. Okay, just one line you write on this. Okay, ये benefits you can write. Okay, you can take this up here. ऐसा मत करो अब मेरे साथ कि ये सब चीजें लिखेंगे. ठीक है, फिर बाकी चीजों के लिए मेरे पास थोड़ा ऐसे हो जाएगा. If you want, I can make you write. You tell me. You have the liberty. I can make you write, or you can take up all those things on your own, because we have been discussing all those things for several lectures now. ठीक है, you guys tell me, Aman and Tripti, you guys tell me. If you want me to take this up, I will take it up. I will make you write. Otherwise, you can take this up on your own. अरे बोलो यार, एक बात बोलो. Aman and Tripti, you tell me.
Sir, we can take it.
Okay? ओके, ऐसा होना चाहिए ना कि सबका एग्रीमेंट होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं मैं अपनी चलाऊं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. ठीक है, बिकॉज दिस थिंग यू कैन रिलेट ऑल दीज थिंग्स यार. इतना तो करना पड़ेगा ना खुद से भी. ठीक है, जस्ट वन पॉइंट यू राइट on this. Okay, not benefit. Okay, just one point related to this green credit program. You write green credit registry and trading platform. Just one point you write. Okay, green credit registry and trading platform. Green credit registry and trading platform developed by Green Credit Registry and Trading Platform developed by Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education. Indian Council of developed by Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education. Developed by Indian Council of Forestry Research. Beta capital. You are writing You are writing name of an organization. What are you guys doing? Okay, ये कहाँ गया? Okay, now write like this: Indian Council of Forestry. Say you if you write IAS, if you write IAS like this, Indian Administrative Services, कैसा लगेगा? बहुत बुरा लगेगा ना? कल को तुम्हारे नाम का आगे कोई ऐसा लगा दे, ठीक है, ठीक है, आपका नाम बाद में लिख ले, कितना बुरा लगेगा? लगेगा ना बुरा? उसी तरह इनको बुरा लगेगा। इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ फॉरेस्ट्री रिसर्च एंड आप उसको सब स्मॉल 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 में लिख रहे हो, कैसे क्या कर रहे हो आप लोग? इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ फॉरेस्ट्री रिसर्च एंड एजुकेशन, ओके, serves as GCP administrator, serves as GCP means Green Credit Program Administrator, ठीक है, responsible for program implementation, responsible for program implementation, comma management, comma monitoring and operation, okay, okay. Serves as GCP administrator responsible for program implementation, management, monitoring and operation, okay, okay. One more line you write: green credits earned from activities taken under the GCP, can be bought and sold our Green Credit Registry and Trading Platform, okay, can be bought and sold our OVER, okay, OVER, can be bought and sold our Green Credit Registry and Trading Platform, okay. That particular platform that I made you write, okay, just these two lines, nothing else, okay. Can be bought and sold our Green Credit Registry and Trading Platform, and that platform is maintained by ICFRE. ICFRE serves as the administrator, implementer, okay. It also monitors the whole thing that is under this GCP, okay, okay. Now I want you to understand one thing here. Now when you have earned the green credits, doesn't it sound similar to this voluntary market? Doesn't it sound like कि आपने एक प्लेटफॉर्म क्रिएट कर लिया, वहां पे आप इसको ला के सेल कर सकते हो, खरीद सकते हो। तो अब जब सेलिंग होगी, बाइंग होगी, तो जिसने जो एक्टिविटीज अंडरटेक की हैं उसको इंसेंटिव मिलेगा ना, जो उसको कॉस्ट इनकर हुई है उस कॉस्ट को पूरा कर सकता है ना। तो दिस ट्रेडिंग, ओके, बाइंग एंड सेलिंग विल इंश्योर दैट दिस जीसीपी इज सस्टेनेबल, इट इज टेकन ओवर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। अदरवाइज अगर आप इंसेंटिवाइज नहीं करोगे कोई एक्टिविटी तो कभी भी वो इंप्लीमेंट नहीं होगी, If you could recall, when this Swachh Bharat mission was launched, तो individuals were given some amount, दिया जाता है ना पैसा कि आप शौचालय बनाओ, दिया जाता था ना पैसा। अगर सरकार वो मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट नहीं देती तो जो सक्सेस थोड़ा बहुत अचीव हुआ है, दो दैट हैज बीन वेरी मच, कि हमें बहुत एग्जेजरेशन है, रियलिटी कुछ और है। एसबीएम में एग्जेजरेशन बहुत है। ओडीएफ विलेजेस, कहीं पे ओडीएफ विलेजेस नहीं है, एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करते, ठीक है, बहुत कम होंगे, अगर होंगे भी तो ठीक है, बहुत कम। जितना आपने हाईलाइट किया अचीवमेंट्स को वो सब ऐसे ही है, क्योंकि ग्राउंड रियलिटी कुछ और है। ठीक है, तो जो भी थोड़ा बहुत आपने अचीव किया है अंडर एसबीएम, दैट वाज बिकॉज ऑफ द incentive that was being provided by the government. Similarly, this green credit program, it is also aimed at providing incentive to the individuals, incentive to the NGOs, incentives to the industries, incentives to the companies to undertake those activities which are climate friendly. Okay, and it is in alignment with this voluntary market. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, so next scheme that I will take up is EcoMark scheme. Okay, that is one more scheme that has been there under this particular mission life, EcoMark scheme. Okay, EcoMark scheme, EcoMark scheme. Okay, EcoMark scheme, please write something. ठीक है, EcoMark scheme promoting eco-friendly product, promoting eco-friendly products. EcoMark scheme promoting eco-friendly products. Okay, okay. Please write. It provides accreditation and labeling for. It provides accreditation and labeling for. It provides accreditation and labeling for household and consumer products. It provides accreditation and labeling for household and consumer products. Household and consumer products that meet specific environmental criteria. That meet specific environmental criteria while maintaining quality standards as per Indian norms. Okay, I am repeating, please pay attention. It provides accreditation and labeling for household and consumer products that meet specific environmental criteria while maintaining quality standards as per Indian norms. As per Indian norms. ओके, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखो, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखो क्या आमिर? इन्वायरमेंटल क्राइटेरिया while maintaining quality standards as per Indian norms. हो गया सबका? Have you written? किसी का कुछ स्किप तो नहीं हुआ? सब हो गया? Quality standards as per Indian norms. Okay, full stop. Okay, further you write one more point in next line. The Central Pollution Control Board administers the EcoMark scheme in partnership with EcoMark scheme in partnership with Bureau of Indian Standards. In partnership with Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay, in partnership with Bureau of Indian Standards. हो गया? Have you done with writing? Okay. So please pay attention. Now this EcoMark scheme, it aims at, it will make, like if you could recall this labeling program for electric and electronic appliances, okay, star rating program था ना, है ना, 5 star, 2 star, 3 star. So that tells you कि how efficient is your appliance. That tells you how energy efficient, okay, how energy efficient is your appliance. Similarly, this EcoMark scheme, now the products will be labeled कि whether they are eco-friendly or not. Like products made from bamboo, they will be marked कि ये eco-friendly है. क्या है ये? Eco-friendly है. समझे? Is that clear? Is that clear? So that will make sure, that will again push the individuals. देखो अब है क्या, अलाइनमेंट में किसके साथ है, मिशन लाइफ के। अब देखो व्हेन यू कम अक्रॉस सम प्रोडक्ट दैट इज इको फ्रेंडली एंड यू हैव टू चॉइसेस, वन इज नॉट इको फ्रेंडली एंड वन इज इको फ्रेंडली। इफ यू आर अ बिट कॉन्शियस टुवर्ड्स द एनवायरनमेंट यू विल गो फॉर द इको फ्रेंडली प्रोडक्ट एंड दैट्स व्हेन दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम प्रोवाइड्स फॉर दैट कि आपने क्या कर देना है, उनको लेबल कर देना है, ठीक है। तो व्हेन यू लेबल दीज थिंग्स तो दे विल टेल यू कि ये इको फ्रेंडली है और दैट कैन प्रमोट द इंडिविजुअल्स चॉइस, that can promote the individual's choice. Because we have been discussing this mission life, lifestyle for environment, and lifestyle for environment simply means that you have to give push to the individual actions, okay, to make individual actions more climate friendly. That is the sole purpose of this mission life. Okay, several other initiatives are there, but two pioneering initiatives, okay, two new initiatives that are there. One is the that we have discussed green credit program, the other is the Ecomark scheme, okay, and who administers this scheme? CPCB. CPCB in association with the BIS, okay. BIS means Bureau of Indian Standards, okay, okay. Then you write some objectives, okay, objectives of Ecomark scheme, okay. You write objectives. Objectives लिखो. It will build consumer. Objectives लिखो. It will build consumer, it will build consumer awareness of, it will build consumer awareness of environmental issues and encourage eco-conscious choices okay, eco-conscious choices, okay. Next point you write, it will motivate manufacturers to shift towards environmental friendly production, okay. Now these are the two objectives of this Ecomark scheme. One is to make consumers aware of their choices and also to give impetus to the manufacturers to shift toward the environmental friendly practices, because once there is demand for eco friendly products in the market, the manufacturers will find it attractive to shift towards the eco friendly this production. Is that clear? So this Ecomark scheme aims at both consumers as well as the manufacturers. Is that clear? हाँ, देखा नहीं मैंने, उसमें लिखा होगा कुछ, वो सिंपल आपके पास बहुत सारी वो है कि अब आपने रिसाइकल्ड यूज किया है या वर्जिन रिसोर्स से बना है, ठीक है। दैट विल ऑल्सो बी मेंशन्ड, दैट इज अ होल डिटेल कि रूल कैसे हैं, क्या है आपके पास, कि रिसाइकल्ड प्रोडक्ट से बना है, किससे बना है, किससे नहीं बना है, तो दैट इज स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन्ड देयर, ओके। डिफरेंट कलर कोडिंग है, यू प्लीज गो थ्रू दैट, ओके। इज दैट क्लियर? दैट्स प्रोडक्ट स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन्स कि किस चीज से बना है, किस चीज से नहीं बना है, ठीक है। रिसाइकल हुआ है, न्यू है क्या नहीं, all those things, okay. So that is these two schemes that we have discussed, this Ecomark scheme and the other one is the green credit program. So with this this mission life comes to its end, okay, mission life. And now we are done with the one thing, that is the initiatives taken by the government of India, okay, its NDCs, its efforts towards adaptation. Is that clear? The global parlance we have seen, what this Paris Agreement provides for, what are the issues with the climate finance, what are the issues that are there because of the climate change, how to mitigate and how to adapt, okay. And specifically we have discussed the case of India, several initiatives, several schemes, India's push in the international international domain for adaptation toward the climate change. Yesterday we discussed this International Solar Alliance, One Sun, One World, One Grid program, okay, CDRI, all those things. You see, now you have a very holistic view of all those things. Okay, a very broader view now you have. Now you have come across each and everything. Okay, we have discussed so many things in detail, but with this, I will stop this initiative adaptation mitigation here. I will take up one more thing that is aimed at adaptation. Okay, that is aimed at adaptation and mitigation, but वो अब इंडिया से बाहर है. That is a general topic. You please pay attention to that. Okay. Okay. Now so far we have seen the this UNFCCC के अंदर क्या इनिशिएटिव रहे, इंडिया के क्या इनिशिएटिव रहे. But one more thing that I will take up now is this mitigation effort, but that is something related to the carbon sequestration. That is something related to the carbon sequestration. Okay, this is a new topic that I am going to start. It is actually aimed at mitigation, but now we will have a look at how this carbon sequestration works. What are the different carbon pools? What are the different techniques under which we can achieve this carbon sequestration? Is that clear? So this is the new topic. इसका रिलेशन क्लाइमेट चेंज से ही है, लेकिन हट के है. अब यूएनएफसीसी से, पेरिस एग्रीमेंट से और इंडिया के एफर्ट्स से हम बाहर आ चुके हैं. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, we are taking up new topic for discussion, that is carbon sequestration. Okay, शुक्र है उन स्कीम से पीछा छूटा, खत्म ही नहीं हो रही थी कितने दिनों से. Okay, but before going further, okay, before taking this up, I want you guys to take note of one thing, that is in the today's Hindu. I have not gone through the Indian Express newspaper. Okay, if I come across something in this Indian Express also, I will tell you that. But in today's newspaper specifically, there are two topics that you have to take. Okay, one is related to the forest fires. One is related to the forest fires, and the second is India's role in this climate change. In what India can do for South-South cooperation related to climate change. Okay, there are two things that you have to go through. Is that clear? One is the forest fires. इससे रिलेटेड क्लाइमेट इन्वायरमेंट एंड इकोलॉजी से रिलेटेड बात कर रहा हूँ. वहाँ पे बहुत सारी और भी चीज़ें हैं, वो भी करनी है, बट स्पेसिफिकली अगर हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं तो यू हैव टू गो थ्रू दीज टू आइटम्स दैट आर देयर इन द न्यूज़पेपर. दैट विल गिव यू वेरी a clear picture of what we have discussed in the class. Now you will be able to understand what are the different terms that are being used here there. Okay, अगर class notes पढ़े हैं तो, नहीं पढ़े हैं तो आपको सब कुछ नया लगेगा, but at least you will be able to make sense of those things now. कि what are ITMOs हमने discuss किया है ना, what are the different efforts. Okay, is that clear? So you should be able to understand these two topics from today's newspaper. Okay, if you find any difficulty, you please ask me, but all the things I have taken in the class, there is nothing new in those two items. Forest fire, you may find something extra, कि what are the efforts being undertaken by India, but forest fire हमने later on discuss करनी है ना, ठीक है. When we will be discussing these forests, we will take these forest fire there. Okay, but उससे पहले you should be able to make sense of these topics now, these two items now. Is that clear? Is that clear? So please work on these things. Okay. अगर नहीं समझ आएगा, समझ आने वाला है नहीं कुछ उसमें अब, क्योंकि मैंने सब कुछ डिस्कस किया क्लास में, कुछ नहीं छोड़ा उसमें से. ठीक है, सिर्फ फॉरेस्ट फायर का थोड़ा बहुत रहता है, वो बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे जब हमने करना है. बट अब सेंस तो बननी चाहिए ना. आज तक तुम लोग पढ़ते थे न्यूज़पेपर कैसे, ठीक है, न्यूज़ आइटम है, पढ़ ली, ठीक है, लेकिन अब उस तरह से नहीं, अब अंडरस्टैंडिंग के पर्पज से पढ़ना है. एंड व्हाट कैन यू ऐड टू योर नोट्स फ्रॉम दोज न्यूज़ आइटम्स. इज दैट क्लियर? व्हाट कैन बी एडिड? Please make sense out of these things. Okay, please understand. Now, before taking up this carbon sequestration in detail, I will work on one basic concept, that is the carbon pools. Carbon pools. Before taking up this carbon sequestration for discussion, you must be able to understand what are carbon pools. What are carbon pools? Simple example दूंगा. What are carbon pools? These are those places where carbon is stored. These are those places where carbon is stored. Simple example है, your atmosphere, not my atmosphere, not your. Okay, the atmosphere of the earth. Okay, that is the carbon pool. That is the carbon pool. That is also nitrogen pool. That is also nitrogen pool. That atmosphere is also nitrogen pool. That atmosphere is also carbon pool. Your plants, okay, they are also Your plants, not your plants, okay, the plants that are there on the earth, okay. These are also carbon pools. Second thing, you take example, the third thing, okay, this coal you see, that is also one of the carbon pool. That is also one of the carbon pool. Then your petroleum, okay, जब जमीन के भीतर रहता है, that is also carbon pool. Mangroves, these are also carbon pools. Forests, these are also carbon pools. Soil is also carbon pool. Is that clear? So these are those areas, those specific places where carbon is stored. Where carbon is stored. Is that clear? Is that clear? So please write something, then we will take up for discussion. Okay, please write something on these carbon pools. Okay, क्योंकि लिखने से क्लियरिटी आती है, बिना लिखे क्लियरिटी नहीं आएगी, ठीक है, इसलिए लिखना ज़रूरी है और वो आपके पास रिकॉर्ड रहता है क्या पढ़ा क्या नहीं पढ़ा. अदरवाइज आई प्रेफर लेक्चर मेथड. ओके, मैं नहीं चाहता हूँ कि बहुत ज़्यादा लिखा जाए, लेकिन लिखना पड़ेगा, क्या करें, नहीं लिखेंगे तो पता कैसे चलेगा कि क्या पढ़ा था. ओके, ओके, पहला लिखो ओशियनिक पूल. पहला लिखो ओशियनिक पूल. अंडर दिस कार्बन पूल्स, द फर्स्ट वन वी विल टेक अप फॉर discussion is the oceanic pool. Oceanic pool. Okay, first you write oceanic pool. Okay, oceanic carbon pool. Oceanic carbon pool is estimated at 38,000 petagram. Is estimated at 38,000 petagram. Okay, petagram is a unit of measurement of mass, and 1 petagram equals 10 raised to power 15 gram. Okay, this much of carbon is stored in the oceans. Estimate है, it is actually increasing. When we discuss this ocean acidification, what I told you guys, that the pH value of oceanic water that is decreasing, though it is still basic, but जितना पहले की वैल्यू थी अब उससे रिड्यूस हो रही है. Okay, and I told you the primary reason for this particular oceanic acidification is increasing concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Okay, and that carbon dioxide is also being absorbed by the ocean. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, so you see this oceanic pool, this ocean contains this much of carbon, this much of carbon, 38,000 petagram, and 1 petagram is 10 raised power 15 gram. This is a huge amount. This is a huge amount, billion trillion से बाहर है, समझे आप? So this is 1 petagram equals 10 raised to power 15 gram, and this much of the carbon is being stored in the oceans. Next you write, okay, and it is increasing at the rate of, and it is increasing at the rate of, and it is increasing at the rate of 2.3 petagram. Petagram के लिए now you write PG. Okay, capital P small g. Okay, petagram carbon per year. Petagram carbon per year. 2.3 petagram carbon per year. This much is now annually added. Okay, this much of the carbon that is annually added, it is increasing. Okay, earlier this is the amount that is there, but now it is increasing at this particular rate, and now look at the amount that is being added each year annually. Because of this increases because of, you guys tell me why this is why this increase. This increase is because of the increased carbon dioxide emissions because of the human activities. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, so okay, further you draw one diagram, okay, related to this. We will have a look at, because in the ocean there are two activities that are taking place. One is the physical and other is the organic. Okay, you please take note of this thing. Okay, how this carbon is being stored in the oceans. Okay, biological कर दो, biological is the better term. Biological carbon pump. Biological is better term. Okay, biological carbon pump. Okay, you please draw these now. Okay, okay. So this is your atmospheric CO2. Okay, this is your atmospheric CO2. This is your atmospheric CO2. ठीक है, कलर कहाँ से चेंज होता है यार, यहीं से होता है ना. एंड दिस इज योर, दिस पर्टिकुलर लाइन इज योर एयर वाटर interface. This particular white line, okay, this is your air water interface. Okay, okay, okay. Now at this particular place, this exchange of gas will take place, dissolved CO2. Now at this particular interface, air water interface, this gas carbon dioxide will be dissolved. Is that clear? Once it is dissolved, then this carbon is sequestered in the cold oceanic waters. Okay, this is happening there. Okay, try to understand. This is your atmospheric CO2. This is your atmospheric CO2. Okay, at this particular interface, क्योंकि sea water directly absorbs the carbon dioxide also. Interface है तो direct absorption भी होगी. Try to understand this thing. Okay, now once it is absorbed, okay, now it gets dissolved in the cold sea water and it is sequestered there. It is stored there. It is stored there. Is that clear? Is that clear? And similarly, this carbon dioxide is also released into the atmosphere. When we were discussing these aerosols, if you guys could recall, one thing I took up there was this क्या था यार वो? When this interaction occurred and there was release of some aerosol as well. There was release of some gases as well, and one of the gases that is being released by the ocean, that is the carbon dioxide. That is the carbon dioxide. Now this carbon dioxide is physically being stored in the cold oceanic waters. तो आपका क्या बन गया ये? पहला कार्बन पूल क्या बना आपका? Oceanic pool. This one here बना ना पहला. But second thing you see, apart from these physical carbon pump, okay, one more is there biological, because there are phytoplanktons. Say for example, there are trillions of phytoplanktons here. Okay, है ना आपके पास phytoplanktons? है ना? ठीक है. And these are autotrophic. They will take up carbon dioxide for their food production. लेंगे ना ये भी? ठीक है. And over a period of time, they will also die. And over a period of time, there will be sedimentation of all those things, and they will be carried to the oceanic bottom. And here, this will be stored. Okay, these phytoplanktons will also take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Okay, so over a period of time, when they will die, okay, इस पे बाकी आपका जितना भी ऑर्गेनिक मास है, बाकी चीजें भी तो हैं आपकी. अरे बाकी भी हैं, फाइटोप्लैंक्टन्स के अलावा आपके पास ज़ूप्लैंक्टन्स हैं, फिशेज हैं, सब कुछ है. So all those things you see, the biological component that will also decompose in the oceanic water itself. That decomposition may release CO2, but largely that carbon is stored in the oceanic deeps. Is that clear? Is that clear? So this is your biological carbon pump, because the living organisms are now involved. Okay, because the living organisms are now involved. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, try to understand this. Okay, यहां तक कोई डिफिकल्टी तो नहीं है, एंड प्लीज ड्रॉ दिस, प्लीज ड्रॉ दिस. ओके, कोई डिफिकल्टी तो नहीं है यहां तक? ठीक है, कुछ पूछना चाहते हो यहां तक? कुछ डिफिकल्ट तो नहीं है? ओके, थैंक यू सर. ओके, ओके, अरे कुछ पूछना है? ऐसे चेहरे मत लटकाओ यार, बहुत मुश्किल काम नहीं है, या मुश्किल है? द फर्स्ट इज डायरेक्टली CO2 is dissolved in the oceanic water, that corresponds to the physical carbon pump, and the next thing that you see is the biological carbon pump. Okay, here direct absorption, that once that is absorbed, that is being stored in the cold water. Okay, for decades now. Okay, some amount, देखो नेचुरली रिलीज भी तो होगी, रिलीज भी तो होगी, यहां पे भी आपका रिलीज हो रहा है, यहां पे भी आपका रिलीज होगा, रिलीज भी होगा, बट largely that carbon is being stored. Okay, and that is stored in the oceanic deeps, in the oceanic deeps, in the sediments that are there on the oceanic floors. Okay, and also some carbon dioxide is stored in the oceanic water itself. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, so you please draw. Okay, you please draw this thing. Okay, you guys out there, Aman and Tripti. Okay, please draw this. Okay, okay, you want to ask anything? यहां से ये रिलीज हो गया ना, रिलीज भी तो होगा यार, इंटरफेस है. अगर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड स्टोर हो रही है, एब्जॉर्ब हो रही है, तो रिलीज भी तो होगी. एज सिंपल एज दैट. यहां भी तो रिलीज होगी ना. ठीक है, समझे आप लोग? So this whole thing you see, this is the oceanic pool now. Now the carbon that is stored, listen, the carbon that is stored in the cold oceanic water, one thing, and the second thing is the carbon that is there because of the sedimentation of the dead organisms. Okay, that is stored on the oceanic floor, that also forms part of the oceanic carbon pool. Swimming pool नहीं, oceanic carbon pool. Okay, the first thing is this. Is that clear? Oceanic carbon pool. पहला यहां तक क्लियर है? ठीक है, यू गाइज आउट देयर. ठीक है, कुछ पूछना तो नहीं है? ओके, सो नेक्स्ट कार्बन पूल इज, ड्रॉ कर लिया सबने? ड्रॉ कर लिया? हो गया? ठीक है. नेक्स्ट कार्बन पूल इज द जियोलॉजिक कार्बन पूल. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज जियोलॉजिक कार्बन पूल. The next is the geologic carbon pool. Okay, it comprises of fossil fuels, right? It comprises of fossil fuels. It comprises of fossil fuels and is estimated to be 4130 petagram, and is estimated to be 4130 petagram. Okay, comma, of which 85% is coal, comma, 55% is oil, and 33% is gas. And 33% is gas. And 33% is gas. Okay, अंडरलाइन कर लो उसको. Okay, Now listen, but you guys tell me, okay, now you guys please pay attention. Will it work like oceanic pool now? Okay, simple question आपके लिए है. Will it work like oceanic pool? Will it work like oceanic pool? No, because this carbon pool, geologic carbon pool, has formed over millions of years. It is because of the decomposition of the organic matter. कोल आपका, पेट्रोलियम आपका, गैस आपकी, सारा का सारा, it has taken millions of years to form. And when you are disturbing this geologic carbon pool, now you are extracting these carbon pools, okay, these petroleum products, you are extracting natural gas, okay, you are extracting coal. Actually, you are disturbing that carbon pool, and it is one of the sources for emission of carbon dioxide in the present times. It is being used for power production. It is being used for producing other products, okay, and the mining of these fossil fuels. Mining also releases the greenhouse gases. Listen, mining of these, mining, पहला इनको निकालने में भी तो कार्बन ग्रीन हाउस गैस इमिशंस होंगी, ठीक है, और दूसरा आप जब इनको यूज करोगे तब भी आपकी, नाउ यू आर एक्चुअली, और इन द प्रेजेंट टाइम्स दिस इज वन ऑफ द मेजर कंट्रीब्यूटर ऑफ द ग्रीन हाउस गैसेज बिकॉज ऑफ द एंथ्रोपोजेनिक एक्टिविटीज. अब ऐसा नहीं है कि खुद ही उठ के वहां से आ रही हैं चल के कि हम आएंगे अब डिस्टर्ब करेंगे कार्बन साइकिल को, ऐसा नहीं है. बट नो, ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज हैव become excessively dependent upon this geologic carbon pool, and in the present times it is the major contributor of this greenhouse gas, primarily carbon dioxide. Is that clear? But it will not work like the oceanic carbon pool because वो present time में भी काम कर रहा है. Okay, now for this carbon pool to be functional it will take millions of years. ठीक है, अगर आपको कार्बन अब स्टोर करनी है जियोलॉजिक कार्बन पूल में नेचुरल प्रोसेस से, तो इट विल टेक मिलियंस ऑफ years. But later on I will be taking up carbon capture and storage, and then you will see that we can actually use this carbon pool to add more carbon to it. Okay, few techniques I will take up later on, okay, in this class itself, okay, if time permits, okay. So you will see that this carbon capture and storage will primarily be aimed at this particular geologic carbon pool, and one more carbon pool that I will take up for this carbon capture and storage purpose is the oceanic pool. These two carbon pools, oceanic carbon pool and geologic carbon pool, now will act as reservoir under the carbon capture and storage technologies. I will take it up later, okay. But before that, you please pay attention to these two carbon pools, and the next carbon pool you write is soil carbon pool. The next you write is soil carbon pool, and the next you write is soil carbon pool. Okay, please write. Okay, it is estimated at 2500 petagram to 1 meter depth. Okay, now this soil carbon pool, it is estimated to be 2500 petagram up to this particular depth, that is 1 meter. Okay, and under the soil carbon pool we have two things. One is the organic carbon, and the other is inorganic carbon. Okay, inorganic carbon pool, okay, उस तरह से नहीं, organic carbon pool and inorganic carbon pool, okay, in that sense, not organic inorganic carbon, okay, organic carbon pool and inorganic carbon pool. Under this you write, this is estimated to be 1515 petagram, and what is left, कितना बचता है यार वहां से, 950 petagram. Okay, organic soil carbon pool is estimated at 1550 petagram, and this one inorganic carbon pool, okay, it is estimated at 950 petagram. Okay, soil भी ऐड कर लो अगर चाहो, आपकी मर्जी है. अंडर दिस सॉइल ऑर्गेनिक कार्बन पूल नाउ यू राइट. ओके, इस तरह लिख लो, लिखो. It includes this one. It includes plant and animal residues. It includes plant and animal residues at various stages of decomposition. Residues. सॉइल ऑर्गेनिक कार्बन पूल में लिखना. ओके, टेबल बना दो, टेबल दो, उसको डिस्टिंग्विश कर दो दो कॉलम्स में, ठीक है. और सॉइल ऑर्गेनिक कार्बन पूल में लिखो it includes plant and animal residues at various stages of decomposition. At various stages of decomposition. Full stop. लिख लिया. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखो. substances synthesized microbiologically, substances synthesized microbiologically and or chemically from the breakdown products. Okay. हाँ जी. Okay, I am repeating. Substances synthesized microbiologically and oblique or chemically from the breakdown products. Okay. Next point you write. Bodies of live microorganisms and their decomposing products. Bodies of live microorganisms and their decomposing products. Okay. Next you write, under this soil inorganic carbon pool, you please write. अब inorganic में आ जाओ. It includes primary carbonates and secondary carbonates. It includes primary carbonates and under the soil inorganic carbon pool. Okay, you write it includes primary carbonates and secondary carbonates. Okay, it includes primary carbonates and secondary carbonates. Okay. Sorry. Next you write, primary carbonates are those which are derived from weathering of parent material. Okay. And you write under the secondary carbonates. Secondary carbonates are formed by dissolution of carbon dioxide. These are formed by dissolution of carbon dioxide in soil air into dilute carbonic acid and its interaction with calcium and magnesium brought in from outside the local ecosystem, brought in from outside the local ecosystem, okay. For example, calcareous dust, okay, irrigation water, okay, fertilizers, manures, okay. Now please pay attention and try to understand this soil carbon, okay, soil carbon pool. Please try to understand this thing, okay. This soil carbon pool is limited up to a depth of 1 meter, okay. And then under this you have two further categories. These are your soil organic carbon pool and soil inorganic carbon pool. This organic carbon pool, as the name suggests, that it is related to the living material, okay. Various things like organisms, ठीक है, that are being decomposed, they will be converted into this carbon, okay, while undergoing decomposition as well as after decomposition, okay. So the carbon that will be stored in, because of that will come under the soil organic carbon pool. Second is the various products that are being found by the microorganisms, okay, because microorganisms are actively working to reduce several compounds into smaller one, okay, complex compounds into simple ones. Newer compounds are formed, okay, and the microorganisms themselves, they also form the part of this soil organic carbon pool. Is that clear? Second thing is soil inorganic carbon pool. That is, the first is the primary carbonates and the secondary carbonates. Primary carbonates, there is parent material. How soil is formed? You guys tell me. How soil is formed? From the weathering of the parent material. And there are carbonate rocks as well. है ना आपके पास है? Carbonate rocks भी हैं. These carbonate rocks, when these are weathered, that will convert into the primary carbonate, that is part of the soil organic carbon pool. And at the same time, there are secondary carbonates as well, because you see, there is air in the soil as well. Why these microbes are surviving? How the roots of the plants they survive? Okay, because of the presence of the soil air, and one of the component of that soil air is the carbon dioxide. Once this carbon dioxide interacts with the water, it forms the carbonic acid. Weak carbonic acid. Once that carbonic acid is formed, and there is presence of certain elements like calcium, magnesium, okay, they attract with this carbonic acid, and they form the respective carbonates. Like calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, they will be formed. And what is the source of these elements like calcium, magnesium? The fertilizers that you use, the organic manure, sometimes the wastewater, all these are sources of these elemental traces of this calcium, magnesium. So they will also combine to form these carbonates, which is now the carbon pool, soil inorganic carbon pool. As the name suggests, it is derived from the inorganic activities. So this is your soil carbon pool. And one more thing I want you to focus upon here is, like oceanic carbon pool, this soil carbon pool, it is in active mode. It is working tirelessly. You see, for formation of geologic carbon pool, it takes millions of years. But this soil organic carbon pool, it is a continuous process. Okay? It is a continuous. Microbes are continuously working. These reactions are continuously happening. Okay? And also you see there is decomposition of plant material, animal material, all those things are happening in the on the daily basis. All those things are happening on the daily basis. So it is actively involved in the carbon cycle. It is actively involved in the carbon cycle. Here sequestration is very slow, though it has huge amount of this sequestered carbon, but in the present time this is very slow process. This is very slow process. We are actually extracting all those things that has accumulated there over millions of years. Okay, but it is actively involved. If something goes wrong with the atmospheric carbon dioxide, this thing you see, it will be changed. The compositions, the proportions, they may change. They may change depending upon the human activities, depending upon the deforestation you go for, depending upon the excessive release of the greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere. This thing will keep changing. It is actively involved. It is actively involved. जब मैंने आपको बताया ओशनिक कार्बन पूल के बारे में, तब भी मैंने यही चीज बताई. ये चीज ऐसे एक्टिवली भी इन्वॉल्व है, ये भी एक्टिवली भी इन्वॉल्व है, ये भी इन्वॉल्व है, लेकिन ये दूसरे तरीके से इन्वॉल्व है. अब ये इमिशंस की फॉर्म में, किसकी फॉर्म में? इमिशंस की फॉर्म में. एंड दैट टू बिकॉज ऑफ द use of these products by the humans. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, so now come to the next thing. One more point under this point, this soil organic carbon you write. Okay, one more thing you write apart from the soil organic carbon pool and this inorganic, you write on the basis of mean residence time, or ease of decomposition, on the basis of mean residence time or ease of decomposition, okay, the soil organic pool can be grouped into three categories. पहला लिखो labile, LABILE. ओके, इसमें लिखो with an MRT of that is mean resistance time of, okay, with the mean residence time of days to years. MRT of days to years. Okay, second you write intermediate. Okay, MRT of years to decades, and centuries. Years to decade and century. And one more category is there, passive. MRT of centuries to millennia, with MRT of centuries to millennia. Okay, now try to understand this particular thing, that is how long it will be there. Some of the this soil organic carbon pool, it lasts from few days to years, then it is released back into the atmosphere. Okay, and sometimes these activities, these are accelerated by the human actions. Okay, some of them stay for years to decades to centuries, and then this passive one, it stays there for a longer period of time. Shorter and longer period. Okay, or shortest, longest period of time, in that way. Okay, so depending upon its life, how long it will be stored there. So these are the three categories, labile, intermediate and passive. Okay, you guys out there, ठीक है, समझ आ रहा है? You might find this thing a bit boring. Okay, I know this may feel boring. Okay, बोर तो नहीं लग रहा है? You guys out there, Aman and Tripti. Okay, okay, you might find it boring. Okay, because these things are a bit boring. Okay, कुछ ऐसा लग रहा है कि हमें सब कुछ आता है शायद, ऐसा तो लग रहा ना? लग तो नहीं रहा ऐसा? ये सर ने दोबारा पढ़ा दिया, ऐसा तो लग रहा? This is new thing. Okay, when we will be discussing this carbon capture and storage, you will find it attractive. Atmospheric carbon pool. Okay, atmospheric carbon pool. It comprises of 800 petagram 800 petagram of CO2 carbon. Okay, it is largely in the form of CO2 there. Okay, 800 petagram of CO2 carbon, and it is increasing at a rate of 4.2 petagram carbon per year, and it is increasing at a rate of 4.2 petagram carbon per year. Okay, okay, ठीक है, okay, ठीक है. One last, now you know how this carbon pool is working. You guys very well know anthropogenic emissions, respiration by plants, respiration by animals. Okay, all those things, volcanic eruptions, combustion of fossil fuels, all those things now will contribute to the atmospheric carbon pool. And now this atmospheric carbon pool will is also linked to soil organic carbon pool. It is also linked to geologic carbon pool because of the reason that we are burning these fossil fuels. Okay, and then also it is linked to this oceanic carbon pool. Now you see, these all things are now interrelated. Okay, and one more carbon pool I have to take up is the biotic carbon pool. Biotic carbon. Okay, this one last pool we will have a look at, biotic carbon pool. Okay, you write please, just one line or so. Estimated at 620 petagram 620 petagram of live biomass, 620 petagram comprising of 560 petagram of live biomass, 560 petagram 560 of live biomass, and 60 petagram of, okay, I am repeating. Okay, estimated at 620 petagram comma comprising of 560 petagram of live biomass and 60 petagram of detritus material, and 60 petagram of detritus material. Okay, okay, if you look at this particular thing, now it has two components. One is the above ground and below ground. If you look at plants हो गए आपके, ये सब चीजें, फॉरेस्ट वगैरह जो भी सारी चीजें हैं वो आपका किस में आ गया, अबव ग्राउंड में, और बिलो ग्राउंड में कौन सा आ गया आपका, डेट्राइटस मटेरियल. नाउ दिस is the biotic carbon pool. Okay, now you write biotic carbon pool, one more line you write, biotic carbon pool and soil carbon pool, biotic carbon pool and soil carbon pool and soil carbon pool are together called are together called terrestrial are together called terrestrial carbon pools are together called terrestrial carbon pools. Okay, okay, now your biotic carbon pool and the soil carbon pool, they are together called the terrestrial carbon pools. So with this, your this carbon pool is done here. Okay, the next thing that I will take up, detritus. हाँ, ये आप लोगों के लिए होमवर्क है. डेट्राइटस इज अ वेरी सिंपल थिंग और आप लोग नहीं जानते हो. क्या हो गया आप लोगों को? सो दिस इज योर होमवर्क. ठीक है, मैं सब कुछ पढ़ा रहा हूं ना. ठीक है, दिस इज योर होमवर्क. वन सिंपल थिंग, प्लीज वर्क ऑन detritus material, and sometimes UPSC directly asks questions from this detritus materials. Okay, sometimes, okay, not always, in the preliminary exams. Okay, okay, sometimes. Okay, please work on that thing. Okay, now this is your job. Now this is your job. ठीक है, खुद भी पढ़ना सीखो ना थोड़ा बहुत. हाँ, अरे इंपॉर्टेंट देखो, एक चीज बताऊं आपको मैं, सिविल सर्विसेज में एक सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत पता क्या है? कुछ भी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं और सब कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट है. सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत यह है, अनसर्टेनिटी है. समटाइम्स यू फाइंड वन थिंग वेरी, मतलब कि ऑर्डिनरी, एंड द वेरी मोमेंट यू एंटर द एग्जाम एंड यू फाइंड दैट थिंग इन योर क्वेश्चन पेपर. ओके, तब आपको लगेगा कि यार क्या हो रहा है ये सब, ये तो बहुत ऑर्डिनरी लग रहा था. कुछ ऑर्डिनरी नहीं है. फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ एग्जाम, वन थिंग इज देयर, यू हैव टू लर्न अ लॉट, यू हैव टू रीड अ लॉट. सर्टेनिटी कुछ भी नहीं है, और टॉपिक कहां शुरू हो रहा है कहां खत्म हो रहा है कोई बाउंड्री भी नहीं है. ये बात याद रखना, समझे? इसलिए फोकस करो जो क्लास में करवाया जा रहा है, उसके साथ साथ सेल्फ स्टडी और करंट अफेयर्स पे पूरा ध्यान दो. करंट अफेयर्स पे पूरा ध्यान दो, समझे? वो आपका डिसाइड करेंगे कि आपका फ्यूचर कैसा रहेगा. बेसिक्स इसलिए क्योंकि बेसिक्स के बिना आप करंट अफेयर्स नहीं कर सकते, अंडरस्टैंडिंग ही नहीं होगी. समझे? इज दैट क्लियर? बेसिक्स के बिना अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होगी आपकी कि करंट में क्या चल रहा है. इज दैट क्लियर? इज दैट क्लियर? इसलिए बोल रहा हूं कि बेसिक्स अपनी फाउंडेशन अच्छी करो, फाउंडेशन के साथ साथ आप करंट अफेयर्स पे पूरा ध्यान दो. ठीक है? इज दैट क्लियर? और अच्छे से पढ़ो यार, ऐसे टाइम पास मत करो. सो दिस कार्बन पूल इज डन हियर. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज आई विल टेक अप इज द concept of blue carbon, concept of blue carbon and green carbon, concept of blue carbon and green carbon. okay, अब ऐसा नहीं है, लिसन, ऐसा नहीं है कि अब कोई कलरफुल कार्बन आ जाएगी ब्लू कलर की और कौन सी कार्बन आ जाएगी दूसरी आपकी ग्रीन कलर की कार्बन. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. दिस इज जस्ट अ नोमेनक्लेचर दैट इज देयर. दिस इज जस्ट अ nomenclature that is there. This blue carbon refers to the carbon sequestered in the terrestrial ecosystems, in the terrestrial ecosystems. Okay, and this simply refers to the carbon sequestered in the coastal and marine ecosystems. As simple as that. और कुछ नहीं है. Just try to understand this thing. Okay, कोई कलर कुछ नहीं है. This is just a nomenclature. Okay, listen. Why this concept? Why this concept of blue carbon and green carbon? When we discuss of the mitigation activities, when we talk of the mitigation activities, okay, one of the primary component in the mitigation activity is afforestation. Listen, one of the primary component that is there in the mitigation is the afforestation or reforestation. And then there this classification occurs that you have to work simultaneously on the terrestrial ecosystems as well as the coastal and marine ecosystems, the carbon that is to be stored there or that is already stored there. It actually relates to the conservation of these terrestrial ecosystems and the coastal and marine ecosystems. and that carbon that is stored in these terrestrial ecosystems is blue carbon that is there, that is the green carbon, as simple as that. Okay, now you write something about this blue carbon. First you write something about this blue carbon, please write. Okay, नहीं बनाना है, अलग अलग करो, ठीक है. समथिंग ब्लू कार्बन एंड ग्रीन कार्बन. फर्स्ट वी विल टेक अप द ब्लू कार्बन. फर्स्ट वी विल टेक अप द ब्लू कार्बन. ओके, प्लीज राइट, प्लीज राइट. नो सॉरी सॉरी, मैंने कुछ उल्टा कर दिया क्या? ओके, मैंने उल्टा कर दिया, मेरे को भी अभी याद आया. जस्ट गलत, सॉरी सॉरी टू यू गाइस. और प्लीज 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 इसको चेंज नहीं करूंगा, इसको मैं थोड़ा सा करूंगा. मैंने उल्टा कर दिया, मुझे भी याद आया कि ग्रीन कार्बन इधर हो गया और ब्लू कार्बन इधर हो गया. सॉरी 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 सॉरी. कोई दिक्कत नहीं, आपको जैसा करना करो. मैं सिर्फ यहाँ पे मैंने भी लिखवाना दोबारा, ठीक है. आई एम सॉरी, ठीक है, थोड़ा मैं ध्यान नहीं दिया, ठीक है. Green carbon is the terrestrial because of the color that is there. That is the color that is there. And this blue is the because of the color of the ocean. Okay, that's there. Okay, please re-correct yourself. ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Just put your heading green carbon and blue carbon and then come to the blue carbon. Okay, then come to the blue carbon. Okay, you write. Blue carbon refers to 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 organic carbon. Blue carbon refers to organic carbon. First I will take up this blue carbon. Okay, blue carbon refers to organic carbon stored and sequestered in coastal and marine ecosystems. Coastal and marine ecosystems such as mangroves, salt marshes, and seagrass meadows and seagrass marshes. Mangroves, salt marshes and seagrass meadows and seagrass meadows. Okay, okay. These ecosystems are highly effective at capturing and storing. These ecosystems are highly effective at capturing and storing CO2 from atmosphere. Capturing and storing CO2 from atmosphere, often at rates much higher than the terrestrial forests. Okay, okay. Key blue carbon ecosystems include, लिखो नेक्स्ट लिखो इसी में, की ब्लू कार्बन इकोसिस्टम्स इंक्लूड, की ब्लू कार्बन इकोसिस्टम्स इंक्लूड, फर्स्ट वन मैंग्रोव. ठीक है, पॉइंट वाइज लिखना, पहले लिखो मैंग्रोव, उस पे 2-4 लाइन लिखेंगे, फिर नेक्स्ट पे चलेंगे. मैंग्रोव, ओके. इसमें लिखो मैंग्रोव में, these coastal forests store carbon in their biomass, and in the soil Okay, full stop. Mangrove soils can store carbon for soils can store carbon for millennia, MILLENIA, okay, making them powerful carbon sinks, making them powerful carbon sinks, full stop. Okay, next you write salt marshes, okay, these wetlands, salt marshes में लिखो, these wetlands found along coastlines, absorb and trap carbon, coastlines absorb and trap carbon in the form of plant matter, and soil organic carbon in the form of plant matter and soil organic carbon full stop. Salt marshes इसी में लिखना, ओके, salt marshes also filter nutrients and help protect coastline from erosion, ठीक है, from erosion, ओके, ठीक है. अब आपको जब आप पढ़ोगे तब आपको इजी लगेगा, ठीक है, फ्लो बना रहेगा, फ्लो ब्रेक हुआ तो सब खत्म, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट यू राइट क्या लिखवा रहा था यार मैं, सी ग्रास मीडोज, ओके, सी ग्रास मीडोज, you write under this sea grass meadows, sea grass beds are underwater plants, that capture carbon in their roots, and sediments, full stop. They are especially effective at storing carbon in the sediment for long periods, thus helping to mitigate the climate change, okay,
सर
please.
सर इसके बाद आपने क्या डिक्टेट किया है, हेल्पिंग टू
Mitigate the climate change, okay, thus helping to mitigate the climate change. Because you see why this thing is there, why these are helping to mitigate the climate change. The thing is, because of the increased anthropogenic emissions, we need some mechanism that reduces the excessive carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Please, when we were discussing these greenhouse gases, you should establish the connect, okay, you should also work on that thing, okay. When we were discussing the greenhouse gases, when I took up that particular topic of greenhouse gases, I told you that over the centuries, okay, over the 1.5 centuries or so, this concentration of carbon dioxide has increased by so many folds, okay, that is the exact figure that I have given you there, okay. That and the present climate change, the present global warming is primarily because of that increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, ओके ऐसा नहीं था कि पहले कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एटमॉस्फेयर में नहीं थी, इट हैज बीन पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ द अर्थ एटमॉस्फेयर. Okay, but because of anthropogenic activities, this concentration has been increasing at a very rapid pace. Okay, and that increasing concentration has disturbed the natural carbon cycle. Please try to understand that thing. Okay, and that increasing concentration has disturbed the natural carbon cycle. Okay, and that's why the problem related to the global warming, the problem related to the ocean acidification, the problem related to the sea level rise, problem related to the Arctic warming, problem related to the climate change induced diseases, all those things are coming up. All those things are coming up. Melting of glaciers, all those things are now interrelated. But we need certain areas to work upon, like we can mitigate the impact of climate change through switching to renewable energies. We have discussed all those things, but there are certain mechanisms naturally they are working to make sure कि ये सब हो जाए. Like बायोटिक कार्बन पूल आपका आ गया, आपका सॉइल कार्बन पूल आ गया. This also helps, but over a million of years. Okay, और इसके लिए अलग से specifications हैं. And this oceanic pool, these are all working to mitigate this increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Oceanic pool is working. Okay, soil carbon pool is working. Okay, the processes that are there, these are working. Similarly, the biotic carbon pool is working. The problem is this: humans have disturbed this particular thing, and it is interlinked to all other carbon pools. Because of that, the problems are rising. The problems are rising. These biotic carbon pool, this oceanic carbon pool, then your that soil carbon pool, these are working to mitigate that increased climate change. That's why they are absorbing so much of carbon dioxide. When if you could, I have been telling you that this oceanic acidification is because of the increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That means that ocean now is working extra, okay, to absorb that carbon dioxide. That's why there is this ocean acidification. Okay, now we have certain mechanisms that are working कि ये सब ठीक हो जाए, क्योंकि सब स्टेबिलिटी चाहते हैं. सब क्या चाहते हैं? स्टेबिलिटी चाहते हैं, और वो स्टेबिलिटी अटेन करने के लिए सब चीजें काम कर रही हैं. एंड देन कम्स टू दीज टू स्पेसिफिक थिंग्स, दैट इज द कोस्टल एंड मैरीन इकोसिस्टम्स, देयर रोल, एंड द एसोसिएटेड सिक्वेस्टर्ड कार्बन, दैट इज द ब्लू कार्बन एंड द ग्रीन कार्बन. ये कंसेप्ट्स हैं, बाकी कुछ नहीं है. इफ यू लुक, सब कुछ हमने पढ़ा हुआ है. ये आपको क्लासिफिकेशंस की हुई हैं फॉर इज देयर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, ठीक है. एंड फॉर टू वर्क अपॉन दीज स्पेसिफिक एरियाज कि हमने यहाँ काम करना है, वी हैव टू वर्क अपॉन preservation and conservation of mangroves, we have to work upon preservation and conservation of salt marshes, we have to work upon these things, we have to work upon these terrestrial ecosystems, because these are the first line of defense against the impact of the climate change. They will help us to mitigate the climate change. That is the concept, that is the focus area, that is the focus area. Is that clear? Next you write, क्या लिखा आपने? हो गया seagrass meadows, and you write importance of blue carbon. ठीक है, importance of blue carbon. Okay, importance of blue carbon, you write. You write, then I will think upon that. Okay, क्योंकि माइक में ब्लिंक कर रही है. Okay, importance of blue carbon लिखो. पहला लिखो high carbon sequestration potential. High carbon sequestration potential. High carbon sequestration potential. क्विकली लिखो ना, जल्दी करो, ठीक है. क्लोज करना इस टॉपिक को आज. These ecosystems sequester carbon at a rate. These ecosystems sequester carbon at a rate higher than terrestrial ecosystems. Higher than terrestrial ecosystems, and they store carbon in sediments that can remain locked carbon in sediments that can remain locked away for centuries or even millennia. away for centuries or even millennia. Okay, okay. Next you write, दूसरा लिखो, protection of biodiversity and ecosystems. Protection of biodiversity and ecosystem. लिखो, इसमें लिख लो, blue carbon ecosystems provide crucial habitat. The blue carbon ecosystems provide crucial habitat for a wide range of marine species. Full stop. हो गया सबका यहां तक? स्किप तो नहीं हो किसी का ना? Marine species, full stop, protect coastlines from erosion and storms. Prevent coastline from erosion and storms. Coastlines from erosion and storms. Okay, and also support the local economies. For example, through fisheries, tourism. Okay, fisheries and tourism. For example, through fisheries and tourism. Okay, and what are the threats? To these blue carbon ecosystems? What are the threats? लिखो, threats लिखो. What are the threats? They are at increased risk. Okay, when we discuss this MISTI scheme, okay, coastal communities project, when we discussed the coastal regulation zones, when we discussed the specific laws, environmental protection laws, there has been a focus upon all those ecosystems. Is that clear? When we were discussing this adaptation in coastal regions, we have discussed these schemes, and also then I have taken up this conservation of wetlands. Though later on I will take up these wetlands in detail, but when we were discussing adaptation, I have taken up the conservation of wetlands also, like Mission Sehbagita है ना आपका, अमृत धरोहर scheme. Okay, so these schemes are working on these parameters. Okay, you write what are the threats. पहला लिखो, blue carbon ecosystems are vulnerable to degradation from human activities including coastal development, to degradation from human activities including coastal development, comma, pollution and climate change. Okay, full stop. Further एक point add कर लो. When these ecosystems are damaged or lost, they can release carbon back into atmosphere, exacerbating the climate change. They can release the carbon back into atmosphere, exacerbating the climate change. Okay. So you see, these are all your defense lines. At the same time, if you encroach upon these defense lines, they can actually aggravate the climate change condition. Because once you start encroaching upon these lands, they will emit the carbon that is stored there. And once that stored carbon is emitted, it will add to the already increased concentration of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. and that will actually drive the global warming. That is the concern. That's why we need to work upon preservation and conservation of these coastal ecosystems. And you guys very well know we have worked on this thing. Okay, and in the future courses, okay, in the future lectures, we will work upon the conservation of mangroves, the initiatives that are there. We will work upon the conservation of these coral reefs. We will work upon the conservation of coastal lands as well in the subsequent lectures. Okay, okay, but एक ही चीज मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूं कि प्लीज ट्राई टू इस्टेब्लिश द कनेक्ट अक्रॉस द टॉपिक्स. अंटिल यू आर नॉट एबल टू इस्टेब्लिश द कनेक्ट अक्रॉस द टॉपिक्स, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स. I have been trying to tell you that please stop isolating things, please stop the compartmentalization, try to understand the broader picture that is there. Okay, and that broader picture comes from the understanding, from the deep understanding. ऐसे नहीं होता है. Okay, continuing the topic, now we will shift to this green carbon. Okay, we will come to the green carbon. You please first write, you guys out there, Aman and Tripti, ठीक है, जाग जाओ, ठीक है, and start writing something about this green carbon, and then we will take up, ठीक है, further की क्या है क्या नहीं है. Please write, it refers to green carbon. Now coming to the green carbon. Okay, it refers to carbon captured and stored by carbon captured and stored by terrestrial ecosystems. It refers to carbon captured and stored by terrestrial ecosystems, particularly forests, grasslands and other land-based vegetation. Forests, grasslands and other land-based vegetation. Okay, first you write about forests. Okay, you write about forests. These are the different components of this green carbon. Okay, you write about forests first. Okay, please write. Tropical rainforests cover approximately 9.4 million kilometer square या million square kilometer. Okay, million square kilometer. Okay, 9.4 million square kilometer. Okay, area that is. Okay, 2015 का डेटा है, 2015 का डेटा है. ओके, ठीक है, देयर में भी सम चेंज ना. ओके, 9.4, बट इतना ही रहेगा, कुछ ज़्यादा ऊपर नीचे नहीं जाने वाला. ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत होता लॉस वो चलेगा. 9.4 मिलियन किलोमीटर स्क्वायर. ओके, एंड एवरेज ऑर्गेनिक कार्बन स्टॉक इन दीज रेन फॉरेस्ट्स is 320 tons. 320 tons is 320 tons of carbon. 320 tons of carbon. 320 tons of carbon per hectare. 320 tons of carbon per hectare. 320 tons of carbon per hectare. Okay, नेक्स्ट यू राइट इसी में फॉरेस्ट में ही. ठीक है, टेम्परेट फॉरेस्ट ओके, टेम्परेट फॉरेस्ट cover nearly 6.8 million kilometer square. Tropical forests cover nearly 6.8. टेम्परेट ही बोला मैंने, क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? temperate forests cover nearly 6.8 million square kilometer. That is again 2015 की फिगर है. ओके 6.8 मिलियन ओके किलोमीटर स्क्वायर 2015 की फिगर है. ओके एंड average carbon stock of 60 tons carbon per hectare. 60 ton carbon per hectare. 60 ton carbon, okay, 60 tons carbon per hectare is stored in these temperate forests. Is stored in these temperate forests. Okay, in these temperate forests. Okay, okay. ये टेम्परेट फॉरेस्ट जो है आपके सारे के सारे जो सब टाइप्स हैं वो कवर करेंगे. जिस तरह ब्रॉडली आपका कॉनिफेरस टेम्परेट फॉरेस्ट है वो सारे के सारे ब्रॉडली दो डिविजन्स में, एक ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट, दूसरा आपका किसमें टेम्परेट फॉरेस्ट में. ठीक है, ठीक है. वो सारे के सारे आपके दे कवर दिस मच ऑफ carbon stock. The figure is in per hectares. Okay, next is your peatlands. Next is your peatlands. Next is your peatlands. Okay, peatlands. Okay, you write peatlands cover only 3% of Earth's terrestrial area. Peatlands cover only 3% of Earth's terrestrial area, but they have an estimated average carbon stock of carbon stock of 1450 okay, 1450 tons of carbon per hectare. 1450 tons of carbon per hectare. Okay, which is the second largest of any terrestrial ecosystem. Which is the second largest of any terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, third one you write grassland and savanna. The third one you write under this terrestrial green carbon, you write grassland and savanna. Okay, grassland and savanna. Okay, grassland and savanna. Okay, under this you write grasslands and savanna. First point you write grasslands and savanna में grasslands and savanna cover close to 25% of the Earth's terrestrial area. Earth's terrestrial area, comma, with an average carbon stock of 150 to 200 tons. 150 to 200 tons of carbon per hectare, ranging in this particular figure. Okay, 150 to 200 tons. Okay, 150 to 200 tons of carbon per hectare. Okay, depending on climate and soil properties. Depending on climate and soil properties. Okay. Okay. Next you write tundra. Next you write tundra. Okay. Tundra ecosystems. Okay. Under this you write tundra ecosystems. Tundra ecosystems are mostly located in the tundra ecosystems are mostly located in the northern hemisphere are mostly located in the northern hemisphere and cover close to and cover close to and cover close to okay cover close to 10% of earth's land surface and cover close to 10% of earth's land surface. Okay, with an average carbon stock with an average carbon stock ranging between 218 218 okay to 218 to 890 218 to 890 tons 218 to 890 tons carbon per hectare ओके इसमें एक दो पॉइंट ऐड कर लेते हैं ठीक है द मैन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ टुंड्रा इकोसिस्टम्स आर द मैन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ टुंड्रा इकोसिस्टम्स आर द मैन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ टुंड्रा इकोसिस्टम्स आर the main characteristics of tundra ecosystems are their peat forming vegetation peat forming okay PEAT okay peat forming vegetation but they mostly store carbon stocks but they mostly store please Randhir क्या skip हुआ कुछ I have been telling you that if you guys miss out something, please tell me. If you don't tell me तो मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा वो तो मैं तुम्हारे चेहरे देख के बता देता हूँ किसी को दिक्कत चल रही है अब ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स का मैं नहीं बता सकता ना उनके चेहरे नहीं दिख रहे मुझे ठीक है तो आप लोगों को तो बता सकता हूँ ना मैं इफ यू गाइज मिस समथिंग प्लीज टेल मी आई विल रिपीट ओके आई एम रिपीटिंग दिस वन ओके The main characteristics of tundra ecosystems are their peat forming vegetation, but they mostly store carbon stocks in their soils, particularly layers of soil, okay, I am repeating, please. But they mostly store carbon stocks in their soil. हो गया सबका यहाँ तक? Okay. particularly layers of soil that remain permanently frozen okay full stop together with boreal forests इसी में ठीक है नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इसी में टुगेदर विद बोरियल फॉरेस्ट्स BOREAL ओके टुगेदर विद बोरियल फॉरेस्ट्स they are the largest terrestrial organic carbon sink containing at least 1700 gigatons of carbon containing at least 1700 gigatons of carbon okay containing at least 1700 gigatons of carbon हो गया ओके इसमें एक और पॉइंट ऐड कर लो however there is increasing concern that however, there is increasing concern that tundra ecosystems, however, there is increasing concern that tundra ecosystems will become a significant source of carbon emissions, will become a significant source of carbon emissions due to climate change, due to climate change, due to climate change. Okay, I'm repeating this particular line. Okay, however, there is increasing concern that tundra ecosystems will become a significant source of carbon emissions. हो गया यहाँ तक? Due to climate change and increased human interference, due to climate change and increased human interference as permafrost layers release carbon, as permafrost layers release carbon, permafrost, अरे परमजीत नहीं यार, permafrost layers release carbon when they melt or when disturbed and degraded, or when disturbed and degraded. Okay, or when disturbed and degraded. हो गया सबका यहाँ तक? Okay, so this is a concern that it is okay. Permafrost, परमजीत कैसे पिघलेगा यार? मैं कैसे पिघल जाऊंगा? ठीक है, permafrost. Okay, so these reasons are actually, when we discuss this Arctic warming, when we discussed, I have mentioned this particular thing there. Okay, when these will also melt, and when they melt, they will lead to release of carbon that has been stored there, and they may actually aggravate the conditions. Okay, and one more point you add here is the croplands. Okay, one more you add here, croplands. Okay, लिखो एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड्स और क्रॉपलैंड्स, इसमें लिखना क्रॉपलैंड में. ओके, नेक्स्ट में एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड और क्रॉपलैंड्स कवर अप्रॉक्सीमेटली, एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड और क्रॉपलैंड कवर अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 13% of the earth's surface, cover approximately 13% of the earth's surface, approximately 13% of the earth's surface with an average soil carbon stock, varying from 95 to 117 tons of carbon per hectare. 95 to 117 tons, 117 sorry 177 कर दो इसको. ओके, 177 कर दो, सॉरी 95 to 177 tons of carbon per hectare. ओके, the carbon sink function of, इसमें लिखना. ओके, the carbon sink function of croplands is highly variable. The carbon sink function of croplands is highly variable and dependent on local climate and geological conditions. Is highly dependent on local climate and geological conditions as well as management practices. Conditions as well as management practices. सबका हो गया? Okay, I'm repeating. The carbon sink function of croplands is highly variable and dependent on local climate and geological conditions as well as management practices. as well as management practices. So this ends here, this blue carbon. Now one thing is there, what is carbon sink? These all things, that soil carbon you see, these are all carbon sinks, these are all carbon sinks. Okay, अब separate topic नहीं करवाऊंगा मैं. These are all carbon sinks where this carbon is being stored. Okay, actually they do release carbon dioxide, but more of the carbon is being stored in these sinks, in these ecosystems. Okay, including ocean. Is that clear? Is that clear? Similarly, there are certain microcarbon sinks, like आपने कोई cropland देख ली छोटी सी, आपने कोई छोटा सा forest देख लिया, समझे? So microcarbon sinks I will take up. Okay, but before that, you must be able to understand these are all carbon sinks. These are all carbon sinks. They actually store more carbon than they release. Only then you can call something as sink. Sink क्या है? यहाँ पे कोई चीज आके, ठीक है, कार्बन के केस में जाके स्टोर हो रही है ना, they may release, but the amount that is being released is less than the amount that is being absorbed. And one more thing is there, that they do store carbon, and that carbon is stored and sequestered for very long period of time. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, now come to the carbon sequestration. Okay, ये सब sequestration. अब देखो इस चीज में एक चीज समझने की कोशिश करो. अब मैं आऊंगा आपका, ये सारा जितना काम है सारा का सारा ये नेचुरल कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेसेस हैं. ये सारी की सारी क्या है? नेचुरल कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेसेस है. ओशंस हो गया आपका, सॉइल ऑर्गेनिक कार्बन हो गया, ये भी आपकी नेचुरल कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस है. बट प्रेजेंट टाइम में हम इसको नहीं देख सकते हैं बिकॉज इट टेक्स मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स. ओके, दिस इज आल्सो सॉइल कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस, बट नेचुरल. कैसी है आपकी? नेचुरल. ओके, एंड देन दिस इज अगेन यहाँ पे नहीं, ये इससे हमने लेना है सारा का सारा रिमूव करके. ठीक है, ये भी आपका क्या है? कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस है. देन यू सी दीज आर ऑल एक्चुअली कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन इकोसिस्टम्स, है ना, सारा का सारा जो भी आपने देखा, ओशन को लेके, आपने सॉइल कार्बन को लेके, बायोटिक को लेके, ये ब्लू कार्बन, ग्रीन कार्बन, दीज आर ऑल एक्चुअली नेचुरल प्रोसेसेस ऑफ कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन. नाउ आई विल टेक अप the artificial carbon sequestration processes. But before that, specifically you write some definition related to the carbon sequestration. Okay, you please write. Okay, पहले ये एक चार्ट बना दो यार. ठीक है, अब ये एक चार्ट बना दो. अब आपके पास बहुत एडुकेट नॉलेज है, अब आप इस चीज को कर सकते हो. ठीक है, आपके पास बहुत नॉलेज हो गई. अब you guys know too many things now. Okay, natural processes and then engineering techniques. Please don't leave class. कोई भी क्लास नहीं छोड़ेगा, ऑनलाइन वाले भी सुन लो. ठीक है, क्योंकि कुछ चीज़ें डिस्कस हो जाएंगी. यू मे फाइंड देम सम डिफिकल्ट. ओके, लेटर ऑन अब जब आप खुद देखोगे तो केमिकल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस, जब तक क्लास चलेगी प्लीज स्टे कनेक्टेड. ओके, केमिकल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस, एंड देन यू हैव दिस मिनरल carbonation here. And under natural processes you see there are terrestrial ecosystems, and then you have this aquatic ecosystems. Okay, aquatic ecosystems. Here you have, under this agricultural, you have agricultural arable, pastoral, all those things. Okay, then you have something called silviculture. You guys know. Okay, अगर नहीं जानते हो तो घर जाके थोड़ा सा काम करना इस पे. एंड एक्वाटिक इकोसिस्टम में यू सी wetlands, and oceans. Okay, then you have under engineering techniques there is something related to the oceans as well. Then there is something related to the saline aquifers, and then you have coal seams. Okay, यहाँ पे आपका आता है CBM. CBM means cold bed methane. Okay, you please write that. Okay, and then you have oil wells, and then you have something related to the geological strata. Okay, geological strata ये लग गया. Chemical transformation, mineral carbonation लग चीज. Okay, and then you have something here, carbon capture and storage. Carbon capture and storage. Silviculture. Okay. Okay. ठीक है, ड्रॉ करो इसको, जल्दी करो. कितना टाइम? 15 मिनट है ना, 15 मिनट में ख़त्म करना है. ठीक है, 5 मिनट ऊपर भी जाएगा अगर माइक ने साथ दिया, ख़त्म ही करेंगे इसको. ओके ओके, कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन हो गया, सबने ड्रॉ किया. अमान, अगर आपको कोई दिक्कत होगी देखने में तो बताना मुझे, ठीक है? समझने में कुछ दिक्कत होगी तो यहाँ से मतलब कुछ राइटिंग की दिक्कत आएगी अगर. एग्रीकल्चरल, एरेबल, पेस्टोरल. एरेबल ARABLE. ओके, एंड पेस्टोरल. ओके. Then you have silviculture. Here, aquatic ecosystem में you have wetlands and oceans. And under this engineering techniques you have oceans. मैं बताऊंगा क्या है. Saline aquifers, coal seams and geological strata. STRATA, strata. And then this whole thing is called the carbon capture and storage. And then again this is also part of carbon capture and storage. Chemical transformation and mineral carbonation. Okay. One more thing you can add here is the industrial usage. You can add this thing here, industrial usage. Okay, industrial usage, you can add it. Okay, you can add this one also. जल्दी जल्दी ड्रॉ करो, इतना टाइम नहीं है मेरे पास, पनवेल निकलना है. ठीक है, पनवेल निकलना है. ओके, हो गया. केमिकल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस, इंडस्ट्रियल यूजेज. ओके, गलत नहीं लिखना, आई एम रिपीटिंग, प्लीज चेक. कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन ड्रॉ करो, नेचुरल प्रोसेसेस. ओके, टेरेस्ट्रियल इकोसिस्टम्स आके आपके पास, एक्वाटिक इकोसिस्टम्स आ गई. अंडर टेरेस्ट्रियल इकोसिस्टम यू है एग्रीकल्चरल, एरेबल, पेस्टोरल, सिल्विकल्चर. एक्वाटिक इकोसिस्टम आपका वेटलैंड, ओशियंस. ठीक है, इंजीनियरिंग टेक्निक्स में आपका ओशियंस, सैलाइन एक्विफर्स, कोल सीम्स, जियोलॉजिकल स्ट्रेटा. ठीक है, कार्बन कैप्चर एंड स्टोरेज. एंड under chemical transformation there is mineral carbonation, and the last one is industrial usage. Okay, industrial usage. Okay, ठीक है. सिल्विकल्चर, सैलाइन एक्विफर्स. ओके, गलत नहीं लिखना, सैलाइन एक्विफर्स सही लिखा है सबने. कोल सीम्स, कोल बेड मिथेन ब्रैकेट में ऑयल वेल्स. ओके, एंड जियोलॉजिकल स्ट्रेटा. ठीक है. ओके, ठीक है. ओके, यू राइट समथिंग अबाउट कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन. लिखें आप, द टर्म कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन the term carbon sequestration the term carbon sequestration is used to describe the term carbon sequestration is used to describe is used to describe both natural and is used to describe both natural and deliberate process of is used to describe both natural and deliberate process by which करना यार ऑफ नहीं by which करो ठीक है deliberate process by which CO2 is either removed from the atmosphere by which CO2 is either removed from the atmosphere removed is either removed from the atmosphere or diverted from emission sources 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 and stored in the or diverted from emission sources and stored in the mean sorry stored क्या बोला मैंने and stored in the ocean sorry mean नहीं लिखना कुछ ocean comma terrestrial or geological formations okay next लिखो point transfer of atmospheric CO2 into carbon pools transfer of atmospheric CO2 into carbon pools with the longer mean residence time transfer of atmospheric CO2 into carbon pools with the longer mean residence time in such a manner that it is not re-emitted into the atmosphere in such a manner that it is not re-emitted into the atmosphere in such a manner that it is not re-emitted into the atmosphere in near future is called sequestration carbon sequestration okay is called carbon sequestration okay please guys listen guys जो अभी तक पढ़ा है अब वो मैं डिस्कस दोबारा नहीं करूंगा ओशन कैसे सिक्वेस्टर कर रहा है टेरेस्ट्रियल इकोसिस्टम्स कैसे कर रहे हैं मैरीन इकोसिस्टम्स कैसे कर रहे हैं सॉइल में कैसे हो रहा है दैट इज ऑल कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन okay but that is natural I will focus upon the this one क्या कहते हैं आपका artificial okay or human induced okay you right next लिखो carbon capture and storage one of the topic under this carbon sequestration is carbon capture and storage okay carbon capture and storage लिखो कार्बन कैप्चर एंड स्टोरेज is the process consisting of the sequestration of CO2 from is the process consisting of the separation of CO2 from okay I'm repeating carbon capture and storage is the process consisting of the separation sequestration नहीं बेटा separation of CO2 from industrial and energy related sources industrial and energy related sources, comma, repeat करना है क्या? Carbon capture and storage is a process consisting of the separation of CO2 from industrial and energy related sources, okay, from industrial and energy related sources, comma, transport to a storage location, and long term, transport to a storage location and long term isolation from the atmosphere, full stop. Atmosphere, okay, full stop. Isolation from the atmosphere. हो गया सबका? अमान? Okay. Next you write CCS, that is carbon capture and storage, okay. CCS has the potential to reduce, CC has the potential to reduce overall mitigation costs and आपको जाना है? आप जाओ, आप जो बचेगा ना आप ले लेना किसी से, कोई बात नहीं, आप जाओ आप, कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है, आपका ध्यान भारी रहेगा क्योंकि थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा करने में ना अभी, ठीक है, 5 मिनट बचे, देख लो आपको जैसे मर्जी है, ठीक है. CC has the potential to reduce overall mitigation costs and increase flexibility in achieving greenhouse gas reductions greenhouse gas emission reductions, okay, greenhouse gas emission reductions, full stop, ठीक है. ओके, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखो. कैप्चर ऑफ CO2 कैन बी applied to large point sources. Capture of CO2 can be applied to large point sources, ठीक है, full stop. The CO2 would then be compressed and transported for capture of CO2 can be applied to large point sources, full stop. The CO2 would then be compressed, okay, and transported for storage in geological formations, comma, in the ocean, comma, in mineral carbonates, or for use in mineral carbonates, or for use in industrial processes, full stop, okay. processes हो गया सबका यहां तक? जाओ. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखो. लार्ज पॉइंट सोर्सेज ऑफ CO2 include okay, लिखा यहां तक. large fossil fuel include large fossil fuel or biomass energy facilities, large fossil fuel or biomass energy facilities, comma, major CO2 emitting industries, okay, comma, natural gas production, comma synthetic fuel plants, comma synthetic fuel plants, synthetic fuel plants, synthetic, okay, fuel plants, and fossil fuel based, and fossil fuel based, and fossil fuel based, and fossil fuel based hydrogen production plants, and fossil fuel based hydrogen production plants. Okay, okay. Then come to the types of CO2 capture systems. Okay, इसी में ठीक है, जो टॉपिक चल रहा है टाइप्स ऑफ CO2 कैप्चर सिस्टम्स. ओके, प्लीज राइट. ठीक है, फॉसिल फ्यूल्स इस तरह से करना, पहले कुछ नहीं बनाना. जब मैं थोड़ा सा इसको दे दूंगा शेप, उसके बाद जब मैं इसको थोड़ी शेप दे दूंगा ना, उसके बाद बनाना भी कुछ नहीं करना. ठीक है, अभी रुको. अब आप साथ साथ में कर सकते हो काम. ठीक है, इस तरह से करना है. ठीक है, बोलो जनाब, बोलो. ऐसे मत क्या करो ना, बोलो जब बोलना है. जो मन में हो बोल देना चाहिए. ठीक है, compression, and then you have CO2. Along with that, you have this combustion will also provide you with heat and power. Okay, प्लीज थोड़ा सा जल्दी जल्दी ही काम करना, मेरे साथ साथ ही चलना. ठीक है. Then you have next, that is the pre-combustion. ठीक है. Here you have the process involved is gasification. Process involved is gasification. Okay. Then you have H2 and CO2 separation. Okay. Okay, for this gasification you need 5 मिनट और. सर की क्लास है क्या? एयर ओब्लिक O2 प्लस स्टीम, and then you have H2 heat and power and other products. Okay, other products. Then you have this CO2 is compressed, compression takes place. Okay, and after compression you have this. Okay, ठीक है. In this particular last one volume, okay, here you have हाँ बस 4 है. Oxyfuel, here you have combustion, oxygen is provided. Okay, जो भी है यार, ठीक है. मैं कुछ डिस्टिंग्विश करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ लेकिन हो नहीं रहा है. कंबशन ऑक्सीफ्यूल, ओके ठीक है, चलेगा. एंड देन यू हैव दिस O2 is provided by, here you have this O2 separator. Okay, air, and from this combustion you have the CO2 that is being separated. Here you have compression, CO2, and one more thing that is there, heat and okay. प्लीज जल्दी कर दो, ठीक है, या मैं उधर से कर लेना, नहीं तो घर पे जाकर लेना, ठीक है. यू विल गेट इट इन यूर दिस पर्टिकुलर, क्या कहते हैं उसको, क्या कहते हैं उसको यार, ग्रुप में, ठीक है. यू जस्ट ओके, दैट्स इट. वी विल स्टॉप हियर. ओके, वी विल टुमारो डिस्कस व्हाट इज दिस. बट कैसे नहीं हो पाएगा ना, कल कैसे हो पाएगा. आज की स्लाइड एक्सेस कर पाएंगे क्या, वो कर पाएंगे वैसे तो, ठीक है. नो लिसन, सिंपल से देख लो. दिस रॉ मटेरियल, यहाँ पे आपका सारा का सारा कंबस्शन, पोस्ट कंबस्शन मैं कल समझा दूंगा, ठीक है. बट यू प्लीज ड्रॉ इट एट योर होम. ओके अमान, दैट्स इट फॉर टुडे.